Okay. It, yep, all the usual stuff. Welcome back. Sorry for the delay. Blah, 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 blah. Life gets in the way. It is what it is. I have been working on. So I completely cut down all the trees from here and have started doing my own replanting of different forests. And so far, this is what it is. I did have videos of me doing it, cutting it down, planning. I was going to do it all fancy, right? Then, you know, went to bed one night, didn't touch Minecraft for a week. So it is what it is. You get what you get. So it's nothing fancy. Now, I don't want to do custom trees because I think they're a pain in the ass. You know how people build up their own things? Sure, maybe one day if I get bored, I will. But these are just all generic trees and logs and things planted in willy nilly, and it needs to be filled out. I want it. I want it pretty packed. I want the canopy to be pretty, um, covering everything. So there's a path that goes there, and there's another path that comes up here, and they meet. Now the path will obviously be fixed up as it goes along. This is going to be sort of I'm not actually I lost the path there. Exactly. How good was that? So yeah, it's a long term sort of project. Oh, these are the copper golems that were in the trading hall that oxidized, and I don't really want to get them going again because I think they're pretty pointless other than decoration. And so I thought, oh, I'll put one there. And there's one over somewhere else somewhere. I'll get some more and I'll just pose them around the thing as you go along. Yeah, so that path goes to the other end. And I want to include all the different colours. So I like all the different colours of the variants. So, it's been pretty interesting putting them in. Some grow, some don't. Have to force them to grow. I've gone through a lot of bone meal to do it. And yeah, I really like this. I really want the overgrown dark forest sort of appeal. And eventually I like the podzol in parts, and I'll do, what do you call that, green stuff, moss, and the other pale moss stuff throughout as we go along, because it goes up there as well. As I said, up to the initial there and to the ridge line there, and then all around, and then you've got the things sprinkled in. So this will all just be grown out and adapted as I go along. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And then I'll go through and put grass and flowers and everything as we go along. This is a pretty cool park because it's sort of getting more to the feel of what I want. So with all the trees and the different various colours, I think it's pretty cool. I don't want to see areas like that sort of, too bare. So that's obviously there originally. I found that there's a lot of tall trees, which is good. So the jungle and the spruce obviously get very tall, and this will go around the back eventually as well. So I put all them in. They're 2 by 2 when you plant the seeds. So all this needs to have trees in it. And then getting the singular ones and different ones, like the best ones, I guess, has been the mangrove, because it spreads out a fair bit and creates a canopy. And yeah, you don't always have the wood everywhere, but you've got that, whatever that stuff is, I forget what it's called, and it spreads out in different sort of interesting shapes and designs. So I'm just over time just going to go through and just randomly put stuff everywhere, and just to sort of hopefully fill it up as much as possible, and to see, it'd be nice to have some sky come through, but it's not the priority because I like the random bits of sunlight that are in there. See how you got bits there, and that's a shader pack doing that. That's but if it was just without the pack and stuff, still having bits of sky available, but not too much. And there's stuff here, bamboo, it's spattered around different places, and I'll add more as I go along. Yeah, so that's essentially what I've been doing. And seedlings have been the hardest part to come across because I thought I had enough, and then I always run out. So I've gone through and done a heap more, and I've got to just sort of try and work all that in somehow. But what I might do is just go around and put some of the big ones in, so the jungle and the spruce around the back here. So it's sort of, because they're the ones I want, to make the top canopy parts of everything. Yeah. And yeah, so, oh yeah, this is what I'll go through. Like, so these parts here and these parts here, I'll go through and put all that in, and all the leaf litter stuff as well. What I might do, I want to see if the podzol affects the pale, whatever you call that stuff. there when this grows. Did it? Oh, I'm stuck in the tree. Well, that was okay. Different. Yeah. Does it? Yes, it does, I think. So, but that's cool. That still creates a nice blend. So maybe I should have gone through and done all this to the ground first and then planted the trees afterwards. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. This is all meant to be very randomized. So it makes no difference whatsoever. Now, always wonder, can you plant these in places like this? Because sometimes they just won't grow. Yep. I don't know if they'd eventually grow or not, but I don't really want to spend too much of the bone meal, even though bone meal is not really that necessary. And I find using the bone meal is better in places because it forces trees to grow, which might take forever to naturally grow. God, day goes by so quickly in this game sometimes when you don't want it to. And then when you do want night or day to come along, it takes forever. Yeah, as I said, this has been quite a while since I put another video up, and in that time, Hermitcraft has restarted their new Season 11, which has been pretty cool. I think at this point, and I could be wrong, it's been about 3 weeks since they started their new season. And I found it really good so far. I found it hasn't been the big thing that it normally is each season when they start. They've just made it very cool and casual, which I appreciate. I think that's a pretty cool thing to do. They haven't, put in major big things in. I think they learnt the mistake from, and I wouldn't call it a mistake. Oh, I did, even though I did. With the permit system last one, I don't think that was a mistake, but it didn't work the way they intended it to do, I think. But in saying that, it was still a great concept, and it created something different. I want to get rid of the torches as I go around too, because eventually when this is all planted, I want to light it in such a way that's sort of eerie and cool looking. So yeah, they've started that. See, there's a random one here. Now, obviously that didn't grow, but will it grow next to it? Nope. Anyway, I'll leave that there for now. Yeah, so it's just putting these in, and the tall ones are sort of, meant to fill in these big gaps. So I'll do that. Yeah, and it's been interesting watching the Hermit start a new season. They haven't, as far as I can tell, added any new Hermits. So they obviously, didn't get my application, so I'm sorry to say I missed out and, get into Hermitcraft this season. So, that's the dream. I mean, how awesome would it be on a server like that that's extremely active? I think would be fantastic, especially with those people, those professionals. Like, I just think it's the best thing in the world. Minecraft is still going along as far as I can tell, though I haven't watched as much of that, and I don't know if the people videos are coming out because a lot of them are unknown as well, which I guess is good because it creates interest in YouTubers that haven't been noticed before, but it gives me opportunity. So I've seen ones that I do particularly like, and I'll follow them and watch them when they come out. Others I sort of haven't, and I wondered with people like Vintage Beef as well, because he started back on the Hermitcraft as well, and I haven't seen a lot from him. So is he going between Minecraft, Hermitcraft, or things like that? What's he doing? I hope he stays on Hermitcraft. I hope he does both, because I've watched him on both. And people like BOO and Doc M are the same. They're both original sort of Minecraft people. So why won't that grow? See, here's the whole stack of bone meal, and now it's just a principle of the thing. No, okay. For whatever reason, that's not going to grow there. I don't know what the rules of that are. Maybe it's that. Maybe if I put it further out here. I've gone through so much bone meal. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so I was wondering about people like that, and I would love to have seen, one of my favourite Minecrafters was Jasino. Jeff, whatever his real world name is. He hasn't come back. I mean, not to say, I don't know, I can only imagine with things on Minecraft that those guys are always perpetually invited, which is good. But he hasn't come back and played, so obviously even when I did follow him back in the day, his life was incredibly busy with his job and marriage and whatever else was going on. So obviously just stuff with his life. But yeah, I just think it'd be so cool to play in those things. So yeah, I didn't get the invite to Hermitcraft this season. You know, fingers crossed for next or any time really. They got, pass this on to Hermitcraft guys and say, hey, Rex really wants to join you guys and he's great. You don't have to believe it, but at least tell him that. I appreciate it. And want to cover this. To do that, I'm going to need some grass, and what I might do is, this has got to be fixed up eventually anyway. So I might take these layers and go from here, because I need to fix them up anyway. Alright, that's a good start. We'll go from there. It'll all be done over time. I'm in no great hurry with this. So it'd be cool to play on because even with this, even though this is my forever world, always will be, no matter what or who, it is open to friends. It's a server that is open to friends to play, but no one ever plays. I've got friends, don't get me wrong, but no one ever plays. It's like, it's so disappointing. I want to go do my own thing in the world, absolutely. I don't need to be in people's pockets, and doing whatever else, but it would be really, really cool to play this game with people. Like, people have their Call of Duty, and, okay, there's obviously something down there I went for. I'll find it again. Let's slide it up for now, so... how they do that, to have that sort of thing would be pretty awesome, I think. Now this over here I'm going to leave because, I don't know, it's interesting. It goes down there somehow, somewhere, if anywhere at all, I don't know. But it's an interesting part, and maybe it can be something in the future, I don't know. I did put all these torches originally, so I think it'd be cool to do that on the Hermitcraft server because they're so active. This one never grew. Let's take it away. If it hasn't grown there, it's not going to grow. Let's try this one. Now, will this grow here? It should do. No. Is it because of these? Let's try it. No, yep, okay. Silly rules. But anyway, it is what it is. And then there's other YouTubers, like, when I very first started, if you watched the first episode I did, I attributed a Australian YouTube lady who made videos who I thought was really good quality video. Great videos to watch. Just put one video out since then, maybe two, I'm not sure, but it just dropped off the earth. I mean, these people are alive, are they just, is life got in the way? I don't know, it's so annoying, with the small people that you really like and you think is different and great and not just the standard nonsense that comes from everything else, and then they just stop. And I guess, look, I'm the same. I mean, I stop putting videos out for weeks on end. It's not that I stop, it's just that I don't get time or motivated or anything else that may happen. Come on, you bastard. Nope, not going to work. What is is it just because it's these ones? I have to go get some more bone meal. Yeah, so what is the go with it? Why I don't know, I guess it has to be the same as me. It has to be that life just gets in the way, things happen, and you just don't have time or motivation or whatever may or may not happen. I don't know. But I'm just saying, I miss it. I miss the people that you can watch. I wish it was people missing my videos and I could do this full time, but it's never going to happen. This is just, I like doing it for fun. But it's still nice when people watch and pay attention, you know what I mean? So, yeah. figure out as we go along. But it is interesting to watch the Hermitcraft videos again. They're just doing the usual stuff, I suppose. I love starting out in Minecraft. I love the first parts of it. It is my favourite part of the Minecraft game. Is the starting, and that's why I have never really done much long term myself, because my favourite part is starting. I'm not a good builder, but I am definitely trying with this, and this is why it's taking so long for me to do anything, because I might get 10 minutes one day to play Minecraft. I might get, hours on the weekend to do it. It's all hit and miss. And even when I get time, I might not want to. Hence why the videos... Oh, that was quick. That's what she said. But yeah. I really want to be the person that can sit there for 20 hours or a day session playing the game, but I'm not. I don't have that patience. I need breaks. And I wish one day, don't get me wrong, if I was ever lucky enough to become a quote-unquote professional YouTuber, Minecraft YouTuber, I would absolutely do the high quality and editing, all that stuff. However, given that I'm not that, I don't need to and I don't want to. I just like it quick, easy and cruisy. I was going to try and put a spruce here somehow. Okay, let's put it here. If I could have shovel, this could be so much easier. But then sometimes with the shovel I've got, you're taking out 10 blocks you don't mean to, so it's easy to just do it slowly by hand. Oh, and it's night time again already. Ridiculous. No, it's not going to grow, is it, because of that? I should have known that. But it was worth a try. It is nice to be doing this, and just finally catching up on something. I'm still digging away the end portal. There's so much I want to do, and I wish I had the time. But don't get me wrong, there's times as well I do have the time, and there's when I just don't feel like playing, so I don't. So that hampers it a fair bit. So I've got to stop saying I don't have the time. I do have the time sometimes. I don't have the will or the desire to always, but this is still my favourite game. I have also been playing a lot of Baldur's Gate lately, because I've owned it for ages. But I've never played it through. Like, I've owned it since release because I love Dungeons & Dragons. But I've never played it through. And I committed this time to playing it through. So if you know Baldur's Gate 3 at all, I'm at the part where Shadowheart has to kill or save the Night Song. So I've just done that part, and in my playthrough, she killed her, even though I did try and convince her not to. It didn't. My rolls were terrible. Now, I don't know if this is going to grow, and I couldn't do it. No, it's not. I don't know. I don't think it matters too much, and I know people that play these Baldur's Gate 3 and they do for the multiple endings. I could honestly not envisage playing it through again. I love it, don't get me wrong. It is awesome. But I'm also a big believer, particularly with D&D, that this is my story, whatever it is. Like you would be in... this is becoming a pain in the bum. Like it would be if you were playing a real D&D game. Each story is unique. So if this works out as my story, where Shadowheart kills her, and I couldn't do it, as would be the case in a real D&D game with your friends, so be it. That's my story. And people who go play it multiple times because they miss things or they want to see, more power to them. The reason I don't is because of A, could not be bothered and do not have the time literally to play a 60, 100-hour game a second time. But I like the idea that each story is unique and individual, So that's how I've decided to do that. Let's go now through the same way and do jungle trees. So these are going to be the really tall ones that just provide that initial canopy up the top, and spaces will be filled in between with literally everything else. I don't know. There is a way to plan this out, I guess, but I just don't care. Higgledy-piggledy. So yeah, going back to Baldur's Gate, that's what I like about it. So there are some times that yes, I might not like a certain outcome, so I'll get a little bit cheaty, I guess, and load up a. It's not cheaty, but it's not. It goes against literally what I'm just trying to say about each individual story has been great. But I'll load up a save not long before it, and I'll redo that particular conversation stream or whatever else, or fight, which brings up a different outcome, possibly. So yeah, I do that occasionally. I don't care if you judge me for it. It is what it is. That's what I like about these things. So yeah. Get that through. But yeah, that's basically it. I just wanted to drop a quick video and catch up, and I'm still here, still working away on this world constantly. It never stops. It just takes me forever, but that's what I love about the game, and that's what you should love too. I'll leave it with that. Please pass on. Please pass on to Hermitcraft that this Rex guy wanted to be in. Please consider him, so he can quit his day job and contribute meaningfully to the Hermitcraft server. That'd be nice. Oh, before I do go too, and Python as well. Python was going to quit to get a full-time job or something. I think he's come back to it to play. Actually, now that I'm brought it, I can't really remember the exact details. So, but yeah, I like Python. I think he's a good person generally in life, and also a pretty good Minecraft player to watch. I do enjoy watching his stuff. Alright guys, I'll leave you at that. Thanks very much for joining me, and I will catch you next time, albeit hopefully hopefully from the Hermitcraft server. Oh, come on, you can't leave on a failure. Oh my, no, we're doing this until it's done. Bastard. Come on. It's gotta work. Yes, thank you. Alright, I will catch you next time. So, bye.